All right, what's up, guys? This is Joey McKernan with the Equip Show, and as you guys know, we're highlighting nonprofit organizations doing incredible work. I have an incredible guest today, and I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Gina.
That's very kind of you.
If you've been around Omaha, you probably have heard of Gina Tomes here, and she's been around the nonprofit space for so long and doing incredible work. And she is running Guiding Grace, which is amazing. I'm going to let her share a little bit about it, but give me kind of the 10-second version of kind of what Guiding Grace is doing and what your heart is behind it.
Absolutely. Just having been in the nonprofit world for 34 years, just really get the foundation of families that are struggling and in poverty and parenting moms specifically. Guiding Grace is a community-based approach to dismantling forever the barriers that we see are really creating such distress in our families,
Yeah.
such as their economic ability to earn, such as addiction, homelessness. And those are big issues and they're not easily solved. So instead of coming from where I was in the housing world, which is my
Yeah.
heart and soul is housing, it's a community-based approach that walks very long-term, very honestly, very professionally run with families, dismantling those barriers one at a time.
Yeah. And I love you kind of have a network approach to it, right? So we're going to dive into your model here in a second, but I'd love to hear. So me and Gina, we connected, and one of the things I just love about you is your energy and your passion. You are very passionate. And everyone, I think, in this sector is very passionate, but you just bring a level of conviction and passion, and like it's just going to happen. Where does that come from? Where does it come from?
Well, I'm not a spring chicken. As we age, it 100% comes from the women that I've met through the years in serving, watching them, witnessing them, grow, embrace change, and the bravery and the courage and the intelligence and commitment to walk through the doors of new beginnings and
Yeah.
pathways, and watching them change the trajectory of their lives.
Yeah.
It's set my heart on fire. It's changed my life.
Wow. I love that. And I'd love to learn, yeah, Guiding Grace. Tell me, where did the idea come from? Where did
Absolutely.
it kind of spark?
So I come from, my background is maternity housing. So women that are experiencing an unexpected pregnancy and facing barriers and need help. So I served basically, my entire professional life in the housing world.
Yeah.
And about 2 years ago, felt compelled, which I am not a creature of change. I like structure and I'm very dedicated, but just felt a burning in my heart conviction to go deeper and do more. And in the nonprofit sector specifically, really attempt something that is community-based, that's going to engage more nonprofits, collaborate with them, but go deeper with families, because a lot of programs may be 1 and 2 years,
Sure.
or in addiction, you go to treatment and you get out and you go back home. And specifically with single mothers and pregnant women, I noticed a level of just incredible passion and dignity and grace and commitment to change their lives. They want something different in their lives when they are born into the total disheartening dysfunction of poverty and abuse. And so they were breaking those generational cycles forever. So I formed an advisory group with women that I've known over the years that are in the world, that are working, that are thriving, that want to continue to grow and do more, and talked about the needs. And they set me straight. And they said, Gina, there are so many more needs that we feel a little stuck. Now that we're in the community, we're living in our apartments, we're working, we're raising our children. And instead of like our heads barely above water, they said, we're not even really there yet. Like, we want that next level. And what does that look like? And so that's how Guiding Grace was really born.
Wow. I love your heart behind that, because there's so many great causes, and we've had a lot of people on the show, and we work with a lot of people in the nonprofit sector. But I feel like you're approaching it very holistically and very relationally, which I think is great. Can you dig into that a little bit, of maybe on this advisory committee, how they shared that and what they need?
Thank you for recognizing that because it's not easy in the nonprofit world. Relationships are everything, and
Yeah.
especially those with our clients and participants that we're serving. And they all have a story.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's not one story alike. And
Yeah.
it's personal and it's relational. And when in Project Harmony, I remember through the years when they first opened many moons ago, it's a one-stop shop
Mm-hmm.
for the foster care system for child abuse, child protective services.
Yeah.
And that family to have to retell their story. They wanted to stop that. And that's kind of what we're doing with pregnant and parenting moms and dads
Yeah.
is, knowing where they came from, knowing their story, and
Yeah.
they're all different. So
Yeah.
how do you create a program that can throw that fishnet out into the state and say, we want to serve you, but yet be versatile and different enough to serve this mom who is struggling with poverty,
Yeah.
this mom who might be struggling with addiction and mental health issues and a number of other things. So you really have to build relationships, and it's critical.
Something we used to say at Abide was it's complicated.
Yes.
And I think that it's hard for our pragmatic brains that love clear lines, I think, to really grasp that. Would you say that's kind of your approach of saying like it is complicated? And when you get into relationships, like you said, there's just a lot of different ways that you can help somebody. But when we get almost too rigid, sometimes that can be hard on families, like to really find everything they need.
100%.
Am I on track here?
I use the word, it's messy, it's hard, it's
Yeah.
painful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, all those. And that's where your team, your staff team comes in, and that's is equally as important to the mission and what we're delivering. It's the team approach that you have to pour into that team. You hear burnout a lot. You hear all these things, and I never, and I'm not saying this in like, oh, I never experienced this. I've definitely had hard seasons, but I burned up. Like the more that I witnessed and watched our families overcome, I wanted to dive deeper and deeper and deeper. When you're talking about dismantling poverty and ending those generational cycles, I felt guiding grace has got to be, leaving it all on the table so that hopefully generations can benefit from it to come when I'm long gone.
Can't you guys just feel the conviction through the microphone? I can feel it. I mean, I love it.
That's a lot.
I love it. And what does a picture of success look like for you?
So that's hard to define because we work on that a lot. We're collecting a lot of data, and we're this first year that's under our belt. We've interfaced and bridged over 300 families into our program, so that's not a small number. And we don't want to be everything to everybody. We want to be intentional and impactful. So what success looks like is building relationships, continue to build those relationships with the families that we're serving. I believe that we've secured housing for something like 20-some families already that were completely homeless. We're raising income limits, where the sobriety rates are being extended longer, and they are thriving with exactly, Joey, what you and I are doing is we're sitting down and having a conversation. They want to do stuff in person. So like we have programming happening 4 nights a week, and it's standing room only. Like it's a lot. And so they're flocking to us, and they want to be engaged, and they want relationships. So I think that is pretty successful, but we have a long ways to go.
Yeah, I love that. Tell me about your program. So I'm a mother and I need support, whether it's housing or financial assistance or financial education, or like where does it start? How does it work? Am I applying to you? Kind of break that down for me.
So we have 2 buckets of programming right now, and actually a third, but I'll be brief and put it into one bucket. So we serve pregnant moms who are living in the community, and that was a population that I didn't think that would surface, and that is a huge percentage of the population we serve. So pregnant women that are just stuck and feel like they need support. So that's the maternal care and pregnancy program.
Okay.
They reach out and they do an intake form. A case manager is immediately launched, and so they can either meet at our office, which is in the Center Mall. We have a great location there, or we'll go out and meet them. We'll do a home visit or meet them anywhere in the community. And we'll do an intake assessment. And that intake assessment is pretty extensive, and it's just the beginning of that conversation where we officially sign them up for our program and then let them know what we offer, which is case management, peer support, therapy, programming and classes. And they kind of pick and choose with their case manager what it is they need. And again, you mentioned it, they're all different. And so that's the beginning part. The other bucket are single parents that are stuck. And these are parenting families with one, two, three. We have a family with 7 kiddos, a mom that they're just stuck. They need to figure out a way to increase their income. They need help with, housing sustainability, housing retention. And this is the first time, because I've worked in the pregnancy help field my entire life, we have men, we have fathers coming.
Wow.
So we have like 9 dads that, have reached out and said, hey, can you serve men? So we have a men's group that will officially launch this summer,
Wow.
but they're receiving case management. And I'm telling you, they're very engaged, and it's cool to see.
That's awesome.
So a mom that's not pregnant, or a dad that's parenting, or a family that's just really struggling is in that aftercare program, and that's called aftercare.
Gotcha. Awesome. And you started this how long ago?
June 1st, 2024.
So not that long ago, about a year ago.
Exactly.
I mean, wow, that's amazing
It's fun.
that you've been able to do all this
Well,
so
you have to
quickly.
enjoy it, and we insist on having fun, and we insist on that again, the team approach is breathing and pausing and knowing that we have time, no time limits in our program. So if a family feels like after a year or two, like they've got it and they stop showing up and they want to move on, we love that. But if that's not the norm.
Sure.
The norm is that relationship. When I did a first evaluation, I asked, the participants what they loved the most, and they loved the in-person classes, which, for the record, that my team thought, it's going to be hard to get them to really show up to classes. Not the case. They love sharing a meal together, and they love learning something.
Tell me about maybe a misconception or a misunderstanding with pregnant moms or just mothers in general, where you wish maybe the public would view them maybe differently.
That's a really good question. I think a misunderstanding is, well, let me just tell you, there's a huge gap in understanding what each family really needs. I just think that there is a misunderstanding that first of all, they're isolated. They're not, I myself, the number of pregnant women that were reaching out, I thought that everybody knew about what was available in our community. Not the case.
Yep.
So what I hear over and over again from moms is, I had no idea something like this could exist. So there's fear, there's fear of judgment, there's shame, there's all these things, and I get like a pain in my stomach even saying it, but there's a fear of reaching out and thinking like, am I going to get in trouble? Are they going to call Child Protective Services on me because I'm homeless and I'm pregnant and I'm parenting 2 other kids?
Yep.
And so we are stacked very deeply with professionals that have extensive experience, that meets them where they are, that does not tell them what they need. We figure it out together. They drive the bus, as I say, we ride in it, and we walk alongside each other, knocking down barriers at their pace, one at a time.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, just that you guys are providing the solution and understanding. Like you said, I think we misunderstand what people really need sometimes. And go ahead.
We think we know.
Yeah.
I mean,
we assume we know, right?
Absolutely, because of our experiences and what we know. And it's just, I'm an observer, I'm a witnesser, so I like to just sit and observe, which in this role is really hard for me because I'm so used to client contact. I love building those bridges, and I love these families. I love people.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of my why is I love everybody that's completely different than me that I can learn something from, and then having them part of creating something and being solution based.
Yeah. It's amazing. Tell me where Guiding Grace is going. What does it look like in 5 years? What's the dream?
So let's go 3 years.
All right. Sounds good.
We're moving quick. No,
10 years, right?
gosh, oh, my mind. So the next year, we love Nebraska. I'm a Husker. I'm born here, raised here. I'm committed to this state, and I have a deep passion for this state because of the people in this state. And we would love to have remote caseworkers and whatever that looks like throughout Nebraska. So even if we added 3 or 4 more, we're getting a lot of calls from Grand Island, Hastings, Beatrice. And
Sure.
so in our rural communities, there's a little lack of services. There's just not the population, but there's a lot of help that's needed. So remote
Yeah.
services throughout Nebraska,
Okay.
number one. And number two, we would love to share what we're doing. Nonprofits, we're sacrificial workers. And so we go 100 miles an hour wearing 90
What?
hats.
You go 100 miles per
I know,
hour?
I know. I like it, but
What?
some don't. Um, so share what we do. Just hand it over and share that. We don't want to necessarily have our feet and everything, but if we could share our model in other states, so maybe we're a great aftercare next step for an organization that's already doing great things, and say, here, this is what we have found that is because our families need longer term services and care.
Mm,
It has to keep going. And I think families feel it and we as nonprofits feel it like, oh, in 2 years they should be here. No,
right.
not necessarily.
Yeah.
And so we would like to expand and just be able to share what we do. That. And so we have an opportunity coming up in Florida that, cross our fingers, I can't say for sure if it's gonna happen or not, but it looks like we might have another site and
Okay.
pilot it and
Sure.
see what happens and then be able to share what we do.
Yeah.
Scale it,
Scale it.
branch it, yeah.
I love that. And I mean, you guys really, you have a model and you're very experienced in this space. And I think you've really seen a lot of how to really build a model.
That, thank you for saying that. And I don't feel that way sometimes, but thank you for
Mm,
saying that. I don't take that for granted. And, about 50% of our staff are women with lived experience. And I think
wow.
that's the story right there, is that they were
Yeah.
so impacted and so touched and then accomplished so much that they want to be a part of our nation's solution with dismantling poverty. I keep saying that because our staff wears shirts that they're poverty fighters, and poverty
Mm,
comes in many forms. It comes
yeah.
in, financial ability. It comes with mental anguish
Yeah.
and all kinds of things. But we want to dismantle poverty.
What's a challenge you guys are running into?
Well, there's not enough hours in the day. So I would say a challenge right now is awareness. Sometimes, again, remember, we keep hearing, I didn't know something like this existed. So
Mm,
how do we reach, we have great awareness with the families that we're serving, but the other piece of that awareness is our community.
yeah.
I didn't know where we were sitting existed, and I drive by it every day.
Yeah. Our studio here.
How do I not know that this existed? So I
Yeah.
would say awareness and,
Yeah.
really reaching families that may want to invest and families that want to volunteer, provide meals. We serve meals and childcare and everything that we offer because our
Mm,
families don't have that safety net and support. So we really make it easy for them, and we want to treat them amazing
yeah.
and bring them to the table. And so I would say awareness is one. Um, we live in the wild west of funding always.
Hmm.
So I would say, that always makes me nervous because you want something to be sustainable. You don't want it to be too big and
Hmm.
but you want to be responsive. So
Yep.
that's always a little scary, but I think we have a great start for that. But I would say awareness and hours in the day.
Yeah.
Lots to do.
Lots to do and awareness. And we're here
Yes,
sharing the
yes,
story, spreading the
exactly.
word.
Exactly.
I want you to answer something for the nonprofit leaders out there really quickly because they listen to this too. Um, you've been in my mind a rock star in this, just in the nonprofit sector. What would you tell our nonprofit executives that are just tired? Because they're tired. A lot of them are tired. Talk to them a lot.
That actually, I didn't know I didn't know anything that you were gonna ask me. We just
Yeah.
met,
Yeah.
and so I love this. But when you even just began to say the nonprofit leaders, I got I almost choked up because you always want to leave a space better than you found it. You want to leave
Mm.
a room better than you found it, and that I think it's just there are a lot of tired nonprofit leaders. There's a lot of separation. There's a lot of we're not collaborating as much as we should be. And I would say to the nonprofit leaders just to know that the more we connect, the more we walk together, the stronger we are. The more we link arms, the more we build each other up. The more that they know that, they need time off, they need to renew, they need to sleep. Nobody's pouring into them as much as they need that.
Mm.
So we need to do better at that. We need to
Yeah.
build each other up. There is no room. I mean, I don't think there's one negative thing I could say about Annie. I mean, on their worst day, like
Yeah.
we just need to keep building each other up and stay on the same page. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
We might have completely different missions. We're all in this together. And
Yep.
so I would say, actually, to the community and to boards to really recognize that and to
It's good.
do better.
It's good. It's really good. I hope they receive that as they're listening. I know some of them watch these, and thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
How can we get involved? What's
There's
coming up?
so
How
much.
can we partner with you?
There is so much. So we have programming 4 nights a week, which will eventually go to 5. Hopefully my staff is not watching this because I said I wouldn't add another class night for another while. But there's
Surprise!
we're going to Saturdays. We're launching something on Saturday. However, we need help volunteering. So we serve meals. So whether you want to help prepare a meal or help serve a meal, we
great.
need hands-on volunteers because there's a lot of, I think we served at our last, like Wednesday nights are a big, it's healthy relationships nights and people flock. There's a lot of kids, and so there's a lot going on, and so we need all hands on deck. So we have we're going to launch volunteer trainings once a month, and so get a hold of us. We like consistency. Building the relationships is important. So volunteering opportunities are hands on. Julie Kalkowski is a I feel like we've grown up together. She's a financial education guru. And so we're talking a lot. And so we're launching financial education, and we need financial coaches. So our participants get a financial coach for a year. So if you have good budgeting abilities, all that, you don't have to have $1 million in the bank. You don't have to be this, that, or an accountant. It's just an accountability coach is more or less what it is. And so we need financial coaches. And if you have a special skill set, reach out, volunteer. And there's just all kinds of things. Tell 5 of your friends about us. There's this cool new service in the middle of Omaha, and tell them about Guiding Grace. So that would help.
That's awesome. And your website?
Yes, guidinggracemotherhood.org.
guidinggracemotherhood.org. And make sure you guys check her out, check them out and what they're doing and volunteering. Anything else on the involvement there?
I think that's good.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to share before we wrap up here that I didn't ask you?
You did a great job. It has been a pleasure getting to know you. Again, I've been doing this my entire life, and I'm thinking, how have we not met?
I know.
So I just want to thank you, first of all, for shedding light on nonprofits. That's my heart. So it's equally as important to the mission of Guiding Grace that, has my heart and soul, is leaving the nonprofit space. I'm not leaving the nonprofit space, but I want to strengthen it. I don't want staff turnovers. I remember I get to collaborate briefly with Notre Dame. They have a lab of economic opportunity. They do research with nonprofits, and they really changed the way I think about a lot of things and not taking them for granted. But they want to build and strengthen nonprofits so that we are able to retain our staff, take care of our staff, make sure they have all the benefits that they deserve and desire in place. And just, really, I've had very long careers at certain places, 16 years, 18 and a half years. And not once did I feel not supported or like just, that's it, I'm leaving the nonprofit world. I dove in even deeper. And so take care of the nonprofits.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you for doing that, because by doing this, that's exactly what you're doing. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Gina. Appreciate that. And great team with Equip. And we just love championing people like you and so many more. So thank you so much. Well, guys, as you guys are listening, and you have a passion for mothers or pregnant women that are trying to transition and figure out and fight through the barriers of poverty, Gina is the best. And Guiding Grace and what they're doing is amazing. So anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Feel good? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. And we'll be back here with another nonprofit. Her website will be on the screen there, and it'll also be linked in this post. So, guys, we'll be back here with another nonprofit in about a week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gina.